When we leave this world, it's really about what have you done for others.
We're all driven by that purpose to help people feel better.
Mental wellness impacts every aspect of our lives.
The pandemic really highlighted it, and now I think the world realizes it.
More and more people are interested in solutions for overall mental well-being. How can they take control?
Say mental wellness.
Mental wellness.
I remember being pregnant and I had two options, stay home and be a stay-at-home mom, or I was going to go back to my job, and neither one of them felt right to me.
I was a whole new person. I had done a 180.
My entire family was back to normal.
Amare is a company that is needed in the world.
One of the last events I went to, two kids came up to me. He goes, I just want to thank you for giving me my mom back. When you give someone their mom back or their father back, they're going to be a better husband, better wife, a better parent to their children. And if that doesn't fill your heart, I don't know what does.
It's changed me as a mom, a wife, a business owner, and just a woman in my community.
We're really having a paradigm shift in what people think mental wellness is and how we address it. And quite frankly, the science has only gotten to a point where we could actually apply it in a meaningful way in the last few years.
We're leading a mission that nobody else is doing, but everybody needs.
Mental wellness has become the biggest global conversation that maybe has ever been had with regards to human health.
It sounds very grandiose, right? It sounds like we're changing the world, and we are.
Today, mental wellness is the most important thing.
A majority of Americans say their financial stress has increased since before the COVID-19 pandemic.
87% of employers said that stress and burnout are issues for their workforce.
The company was doing about 170 million in revenue, and we took that company from that to about 2.5 billion over 8 years. I got burned out. I hadn't prioritized myself. I left that company and decided to take some time off.
Having mental wellness at the forefront and living and experiencing what that means in our families, in ourselves, and having that set the tone for generations to come.
We hear about kids that are struggling with focus issues, family members that are struggling with mood issues, or people who are just not quite feeling the way they want to feel. They've lost their game, so to speak, and they want to try to get that back. People are really resonating with that. This is something that's missing for a lot of people.
I think the time is right for mental wellness. I think Amare's founders were genius in creating the mental wellness company. It was founded right before the pandemic.
When I started Amare, mental wellness wasn't a topic of discussion like it is today.
I've always been a big ally of the underdog. Hemp was himself an underdog.
I just had visions growing up. Even as a child, I used to love to daydream. I used to look out the window and imagine what life could be. As some of you know, I feel everyone's feelings. I haven't learned to create the shield around me, so I take everything in. There's times in our life where we all struggle, we all hit our bottoms, but we gotta pick ourselves up.
Kip Tran and his family want to see people and families win at all levels, and that starts in the home. It starts with mental wellness, and it starts with teaching others to love themselves so they can pour into the rest of the world.
We say we're gonna do this, we're gonna change our world. Let's go change the world. I think life leads you on a path and you kind of learn to listen in. I came from an immigrant family. My parents came over here in 1975 from the war. They came with nothing, just the backpacks on their back. They eventually opened a Mexican restaurant. We were the Vietnamese family that had a Mexican restaurant. So that was my childhood. My parents didn't want me to have such a hard life. They want you to become doctors or attorneys or dentists. I tried that for many years, ended up dropping out because school wasn't for me. I just didn't fit in the box. Eventually I took a job as a customer service rep. I walked into the owner of that company's office. He looked at me, he goes, "What do you want to do next?" And I looked at him and said, "One day I'll be sitting in your seat." 5 or 6 years later, I was running the entire company. Then I hit a cap. I just wanted to do more. I wanted to experience more. I didn't know anything about mental wellness. I knew I was really not healthy. It took a toll on our mental health. I continued to grind. I built a company and we ended up selling that, but my health continued to deteriorate. I had 3 beautiful girls. What was I chasing, and at what cost? I took a year off to really get healthy. Maybe I went through everything I went through to help others. With enough money at 35, if I came out of retirement, I had to play much, much bigger. The last thing I wanted to do is sell any type of product that was not good enough for my family. And so it was important for me to partner with the best scientists out there.
These issues around mental wellness, around feeling our best, can really benefit from the natural ingredients that are out there in the world. All of the research starts here in the forest with the plants.
Here to tell us all about this, Dr. Shawn Talbot.
Dr. Shawn Talbot.
One of our favorites, Dr. Shawn Talbot. Nutritional researcher and health author, Dr. Shawn Talbot.
You've been studying this for the last decade before it was really cool.
Right, before it was
right?
cool, exactly.
You know everything about it.
I was blown away that HIP had managed to get Shawn to the company. I had followed his career and I knew the product lineup would be fantastic.
They're potent and they're pure and they're proven with science and they're sustainable for the environment and for the earth and for the air and for the water. But also importantly for the people there.
Amare means to love. It's loving yourself, it's loving your community, but it's also loving and being a steward of the earth. One of my passions is conservation. I grew up in South America in the jungle and saw how amazing natural beauty is and all the wildlife that exists in that. We source the purest ingredients we can in a sustainable way, and we have cutting-edge science tied to that informs our product creation.
Make sure that there's strong science supporting all of these products and brands. And the winner is Amare.
What we're doing here at Amare is a culmination of my entire scientific career. I've been in this industry for 20 years.
What's the second brain? Why's it called that?
We call the gut the second brain now because it produces more neurotransmitters than the brain in your head. That's where we have 100 trillion bacteria. That number is more than there are stars in the Milky Way. 70% of the dopamine, 90% of the serotonin, all these feel-good chemicals that make our brain feel a particular way, come from the gut. And if we can get the bacteria right, we'll produce the right compounds so we feel our best. This idea of the gut-brain axis, targeting the brain, but targeting the second brain in the gut, and then targeting the communication network between them, that axis, that's really the forefront of science and the forefront of how we're going to actually get ahead of all of these mental wellness issues and have a benefit in people's lives. Financial stress is the #1 cause of mental wellness problems. So you could be interested in Amare because you want to build a business or because you want to help people. But how about if you could build a business around helping people? Like that is the holy grail in my view.
Our business doubled the very first month that Happy Juice came out. And every single year since, we've seen our business continue to grow and grow and grow. And we're seeing Happy Juice go viral all over social media. When you say I partner with a mental wellness company, the body language of people is literally like, what is that? There's lots of hype in the direct selling industry right now. I'm here for the substance and the depth, and that's what Amare is.
Everything happens for a reason. Most anybody that knows me knows I have a special needs daughter who's my middle daughter. And Sadie has taught me a lot of lessons.
Okay, so today's a very special day, right? Yeah. What is it?
Father's Day.
Father's Day today. So it's my day today, right? Not your day? No. My day. So what do I get?
A special hug.
A special hug?
My wife and I say it all the time. Sadie's not our special needs kiddo, right? She's what we need. Amare has allowed us to be able to have the financial flexibility to be able to give Sadie the best care we can possibly give her.
I was looking for something really unique, something that would create an impact in the world. It's just a totally different way of living to be able to create income while you're creating an impact.
You have to put on your own oxygen mask before you can help others. But once somebody restores their mental wellness, magic happens.
You wake up and you want to do something. You want to go help someone.
When you actually make other people happy, it's a gift within.
We have created something that can give people hope on a whole new level. There is a massive endorphin rush that happens in the body when you serve and when you help someone and you spread kindness. That's Amare.
We were created to be a generational company that lasts decades.
My expertise is really building a company from zero and then bringing it to profitability. So I did that for 4 or 5 years. But I want to impact millions, if not billions of lives worldwide. And so I got an interview with JT. He was with a multi-billion-dollar company.
And while I was taking some time off, I got calls from multiple companies, and I said no to everyone. And then I remember I was standing in my pasture, minding my own business, taking care of the goats, and I got a call from a headhunter. I thought it was interesting that a company would call itself Amare, which means love, to love. And so I flew out to meet with Hip, and a lot of what he shared resonated with me because I had been on a similar kind of rat race wheel.
And we kind of both cried. We both felt Amare was pulling us. It tugged at our hearts.
And I remember flying back to Utah thinking I had found my new home in Amare.
People get together and they have a vision and they want to go after that together. There's magic in that. There's power in that.
We're going to build the largest mental wellness company in the entire world.
Amare Global will be acquiring Kyani, a globally recognized health and wellness business in more than 50 countries.
Together, we're going to go change the world.
We will reach 1 million homes with our life-changing products within 5 years.
That is what we do here at Amare. We disrupt the status quo.
Mental wellness is the fastest growing category in the wellness industry.
This company was never supposed to be about one person. It was about a movement of change.
Creating that opportunity all across the world for all people, that's the heartbeat of Amare. I don't know any other company, any other job, mission, opportunity that is more purposeful than that.